Peace, 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 peace. It's Andrew the Promised Child once again, and welcome to another episode of the ATPC My Stylevation, My Style Speaker Show. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I created this show, you know what I'm saying, is just to inspire, motivate, educate, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get right into the message, right? And this is something like, I talked about this before, and I'm going to talk about it again because to me it's very important. Like, there's not one way to do something. There's this thing like where people who are already successful or people who think they know how to get successful, who have an opinion about being successful and they're not really successful themselves. But it's this thing out there that you have to follow what somebody else is doing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Like, you got to follow somebody else's way, right? That's the big thing. Like, if since Walmart did it this way, I got to do it this way. Since Amazon did it this way, I got to do it this way. Since this famous YouTuber did it this way, I got to do it the way they did it. Since this famous Instagrammer did it that way, I got to do it that way. And that's not necessarily true. Like, don't get me wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with following the footsteps of people who came before you, people who are doing it on a great level. But what I would say is you could create your own way as well. Like, I'm not knocking you following nobody else's step. That's cool. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with being inspired and being a student of this particular individual or this group. I'm just saying that you could create your own way. You can make your own way, just like they did. They created their own way. They made their own way. You feel what I'm saying? Like, before the airplane was created, who was they following? I want you to think about that. Like, before the train was created, who was they following? What way was they following? You feel what I'm saying? Before the car was created, who way was they following? They created their own way. They made a lane. You know what I'm saying? Before social media was ever thought of, like, who way was they following? Before a computer was ever thought of, who way was they following? Before a college was ever created, who way was they following? You see what I'm saying? Like, when you're an innovator and you're a creator, you just create your own way. You make your own way. You don't have to follow nobody else's way. That's all I'm saying. Like, oh no, see the reason why you failed it. Listen, man, let me tell you something. A lot of these great inventors failed a lot of times. You just don't know about the failures because you don't care about to look at the failures. You understand what I'm saying? You don't care to go look deep into like, dang, he failed 1,000 times. Dang, he failed 10,000 times. Dang, I didn't even know he was told no that many times. Dang, I didn't know he was sleeping in his car. Dang, I didn't know he was homeless. Dang, I didn't know that. Because all you know is the fame. All you know is the success stories. That's all you know. That's all you know. But what I'm saying is, you'll let somebody tell you because you failing right now. Right now, you failing. Right now, things not going the way that you wanted to go. And you'll let people come in and tell you, man, you failing because you doing it the wrong way. Granted, it's some truth to that statement. It's a lie to that statement as well, but it's some truth to, yeah, you might be doing it the wrong way right now. Like Napoleon Hill said, like, the plan that you have right now might not be working right now, right? It might not be working at this moment in time. Cool, granted, I get that. But when they saying you doing it the wrong way, they saying you doing it the wrong way because you're not following somebody else's way, because you're not following somebody else's blueprint. You're not following somebody else's foundation. That's why they saying that you doing it the wrong way. They're not saying you know what I'm saying, you doing it the wrong, like, that's the only reason why they telling you doing it the wrong way. What I'm saying is, like, keep doing it your way. If this way failed, keep coming up with a way that you came up with. And when you come up with it, they're going to say, oh, he a genius. Oh, he's smartest on the way. He came up with a new way to do something. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we are all creators. We all have gifts. We all have talents. We all do. We all look at the world different. We all think different. When people didn't believe in flying, the Wright brothers believed in flying. Like, yo, I'm going to fly an airplane. I don't care what nobody say. People calling me crazy. People saying it's the devil. People saying it can't be done. People saying it's impossible. But they was like, yo, we going to create this airplane. I don't care what nobody say, because we all are creative. And you got an airplane inside of you. It might not be called an airplane. You got adventures inside of you. You got stars and moons inside of you. You got ideas that will impact and change the world that's inside of you, but you are afraid to bring it out of you because you're conforming to the world. You are conforming to what everybody else is telling you. You're being like everybody else instead of you stepping into your greatness, instead of you releasing your greatness. You ain't got to be like everybody else. You ain't got to think like everybody else. You ain't got to be like everybody else. You are your own unique individual. You are special. You are great. You are powerful, and you got to know this. And if you don't know this, you need to learn this. You need to learn this. I'm telling you, you got a cure for AIDS inside of you. You got a cure for cancer inside of you. You got a cure for diabetes inside of you. You got a new transportation, some type of new transportation inside of you that the world is ready for you to drop out. You know what I'm saying? Ready for it to drop out of you. You are an awesome speaker. You are a dope speaker. You come in and introduce a new idea and a new way of speaking. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You come in and change the whole clothing line business. You come in and change the whole social media business. The way that we doing it now, you come in and got a whole new idea. And next thing you know, everybody's doing something different than what you doing. Remember, TV dominated for years. For years, TV dominated TV. And TV still holding on, don't get it wrong. But now it's about streaming. Now it's about social media. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's the big thing right now. Like, that's the thing. But you got to know, this is soon to fade and something else going to come in and take over. And then something after that, 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 and then something after that. Because it's always new ways to do. I always say there's a billion ways to do things. Some ways are just more glorified than others. Some ways are more popular than others. But there's a billion ways to do things. We all perceive the world different. We all see the world different. So I'm telling you, run with your play. Roll with your play. Go with your play, bro. Go with your play, sis. So what? It didn't work today. So what? You've been doing it for 5 years. It didn't work. So what? You've been doing it for 10 years and it did. So what? Stick with it. Stay with it. Wise man said, I didn't fail 1,000 times. I just took 1,000 steps to get to where I got to. That's all. I just took 1,000 steps to get to. You're not failing. You're learning. You're experimenting. Okay, this didn't work. That ain't work. This ain't work. Okay, this ain't work. This ain't work. So you keep coming up with plans and plans and plans. Be flexible with your plans, but be stubborn for your dreams. I'm going to say that one more time. Be flexible. Listen to me, brothers and sisters. Be flexible with your plans, but be stubborn for your dreams. Be stubborn for them. So I'm going to tell you, like, when you're going after ignore people. And for real, stop telling people your dreams in the first place. Just do it. Just do it. It's better to win in action than words. Just show it. Become it. Walk it. Be living proof of it. Don't even tell people, hey, man, I'm about to open up a store. Don't even tell them. Just open up the store. They'll see it. They'll see you post it. They'll walk past it. They'll hear about your grand opening. Win in action. You don't even have to, win in action. Stop telling people your dreams and your plan. Because what happens is when you tell small-minded people your dream, they're going to try to talk you out of it. Because they small-minded. They pessimistic thinkers. They don't think nothing out of the ordinary. They don't think outside of the box. So when you're talking to people who don't think outside of the box, all they see is what's inside the box. That's all they see. That's all they know is what's inside the box. So when you try to explain to them what's outside the box, they don't know what's going on outside the box. They're not comfortable with what's outside the box. They're not familiar with what's outside the box. They only familiar with what's inside the box. You understand what I'm saying? So when you got these big ideas and these big dreams and you just want to talk about it to people, like, yo, I'm gonna open up 100 stores. Yo, I'm gonna sell 1 million. I'm gonna get 1 million downloads on my music. Yo, I'm gonna get 5 million subscribers on YouTube. Whatever. Yo, I'm gonna sell 10,000 shirts today. Yo, whatever. I'm gonna rock a crowd with 700,000 people. Whatever. When you're telling people this, they're only thinking inside the box because they can't see outside the box. They're thinking like, well, nobody from my neighborhood never did that before. Nobody in my family never did that before. And you're from my neighborhood or you're a part of my family. How are you going to do that? So they end up dissing you and you love them and you care about their opinion and you end up taking what they saying like you take what they saying like it means something. Like they telling the truth or something. So you're like, yeah, you know what? You right. You right, cuz. You right, bruh. I should give up on my dreams. You right. That's all it is. It's just a dream. You right. Nah. When you going after your dreams, you might have to isolate yourself from folk. For real, I would tell you, isolate yourself and lock in on what it is that you're doing. I lock myself in on videos. Like, yo, this what I'm going to do. This what I'm standing on. I'm locking in on this because I don't need negative vibrations around me. I don't need negative opinions around me. I don't need pessimistic thinking around me. I don't need doubtful, fearful thinking around me. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that around. I don't need logical thinking around me. Yeah, I said it. I don't need logical thinking. The Wright brothers wasn't logical. Ford wasn't logical. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, Hannibal Carthage wasn't logical. Toussaint Louverture wasn't logical. Oh, come on, man. I'm talking to you, man. Alexander of Greece wasn't logical. The great inventors, the great inventors, the great innovators, the great warriors, they wasn't logical. They didn't think logical. All things are possible to those who believe. If I could think it, I could achieve it. If I could think it, I could hold it. Guaranteed, no cap, no lie. If I could think it, I could achieve it. That's the mentality you got to have. And you only want to surround yourself with people who have that mentality. You don't want to surround yourself, how we going to do that? It don't matter how we going to do it. We going to get up, we going to attempt it, and we not going to know how to do it until we do it. That strategy, you can't use that strategy because the last 20 generals they didn't use that strategy. The last 20 businessmen did. So what? We not conforming to their ways. We coming up with new ways. We creating new ways. We got new ideas. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm unique. You unique. You don't got to follow their way. Do it your way. And it's not like to be arrogant. Just not to like not have teachers, not to listen to people. That's not what I'm saying. Because like Socrates says, one thing I know for sure is that I know nothing. One thing I know for sure is that I know nothing. I don't know nothing. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. But what I'm saying is a little of what I know is I could innovate. The little I know is I could create a new way. I don't have to have the same recipe as McDonald's if I'm going to start a restaurant. I don't have to have the same recipe as KFC if I'm going to start a restaurant. My car, if I create a car, my car don't have to look like Tesla's. It don't have to look like Toyota. It don't have to look like Chrysler. You see what I'm saying? Like I could create a whole new car that operate a whole different way. I don't have to create an electrical car. I could come up with a whole new way of creating a car. You could come up with a whole new way. That's what I'm saying. Now, you could be inspired by Tesla. You could be inspired by McDonald's. You could be inspired by Amazon or Walmart. You could be inspired by them and say, hey, that's dope what they doing. I want to be a part of that industry, but I'm going to revolutionize that industry. I'm going to change. I'm going to introduce a new way, a new idea of how to do things in that industry. But I could be inspired by them. I could read books about them. I could learn how they started up and things like that. But I'm like, no, I'm coming in. I'm going to create a new way, my way. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's not about I know everything. I'm going to reject it. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you can create your own way. So you got innovators and creators in the world because they create their own way. They do it their way. Their way. Their way. That's all I wanted to tell you on here today. You can do it your way. It's okay. You're great. Embrace yourself. Embrace you. Embrace your creativity. That's what I mean by embrace your creativity. Oh, people gonna laugh at that. People gonna think it's crazy. So what? Most of the things, I would say all the things you use today, people thought was crazy at one time. Washing machine, vacuum cleaner, electricity. You know what I'm saying? People thought that was crazy before. Airplane, trains, cars. People thought that was crazy before. Now it's normalized. But it's normalized, man. It's normal now. Like, yo, I'm glad they got cars. I'm glad they got airplanes. I'm glad they got trains. It's normal now. Ain't you happy that they say we could do it a different way? Ain't you happy they say, look, man, we ain't got to keep riding on no horses, bro. We could create this car. Ain't you happy they did that? Raise your hand if you're happy they did that. You know what I'm saying? You could jump on the bus. You ain't gotta worry about riding on no horse. You can jump in the car, jump on the bus, jump on the airplane, whatever. Ain't you happy that they got cell phones now? Ain't you happy that you can walk out the door with a phone in your hand instead of having to wait to get back in the house to use your phone? Now you can walk out and walk out the door. You can put your headphones in it. All this stuff wasn't known at one time. All this stuff was looked at as crazy. It was a crazy idea. Nobody could, social media. You could get on your cell phone and talk to a lot of people. You could get on you could post a picture and somebody from Japan can see your picture on your Instagram. You could release a video and somebody in Tokyo can see your video. Somebody in North Korea can see your video. Somebody in China, somebody in Switzerland, somebody in Nigeria, somebody in Guyana, somebody in Mexico, somebody in Puerto Rico can see your video, and you in Richmond, you in New York. All this stuff was deemed crazy at one time. All this stuff was deemed impossible at one time. That's why I know you ain't got to follow nobody else's way and you can create your own way. But you got to embrace it. You got to believe that you can do it. You got to believe and you got to know that you can do it. That you can create a whole new way. And I feel that comes with being in tune with yourself. That comes with cutting TV off, cutting the scrolling on social media off. That comes with just being in deep thought, being in tune with nature. Like, remember when we was children, we was always outside, right? We was always outside. We was playing with toys. Our imagination was always working for good. It was always working for good. Like, I remember when I was a kid, me and my friends, we used to love monster trucks, right? What was his name? Gravedigger? The green and black truck? I think that was his name, Gravedigger. But anyway, we used to love like monster trucks when we was kids. And we didn't have the money to purchase a monster truck. Our parents didn't have the money to purchase a monster truck. So what we used to do was we would get on our bicycles, right? We'll get on our bicycles and it would rain outside, right? So it'd be a puddle of water. And we used to take the bike and we'll jump over the sidewalk part, like the little curve part. We'll jump over and splash in the water. And in our mind, we was on the monster truck. We had different names, all that. We had different names, all that stuff, and we'll just jump in the water. Boom! And with the water represented the car, right? And the bike represented the truck. That's how our imagination was running. Because we were so in tune with it and with nature, we were so in tune with each other. Oh, I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Of course we watched TV and things like that, but we spent more time outside. We spent more time with each other. So now we coming up with ideas. So the more you spend in isolation, the more you spend in your mind, the more you tap into your creativity, you will start to come up with ideas and you will start to create things. But it takes isolation. It takes focus. It takes experiments. It takes time. It's not like no Instagram. No, it takes time. You look at these great inventors today, man. A lot of these guys, they've been into this stuff since they was kids. Since they was children. They didn't just jump off the porch the next day and say, this is what we're going to do. They've been into these type of things that they do. If you just go watch their interviews and stuff like that, they've been into the type, going out of space and internet and things like that. They've been into stuff like that. So I thank y'all for listening. I appreciate y'all for jumping on here and listening once again. We're going to be doing this My Style, Vation My Style speaker show a lot. Stay tuned with Coffee Talk. Also stay tuned with Sunday Message. Like, don't forget that Sunday Message every Sunday. I'm gonna get back to y'all with an actual time of when I'm gonna drop it on Sundays, but stay tuned for Sunday Message. I'll most definitely let y'all know how many times I'm gonna do that. Remember that you're powerful. Remember that you're awesome. Remember that you can do all things. Can't nobody stop you but you, baby. Can't nobody stop you but you, baby. You got God inside of you. You got greatness inside of you. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. You got greatness inside of you. You better embrace you. You better embrace what you got inside you. I'm trying to tell you. No, forget that. What I said, I'm telling you, you got greatness inside of you. You know what I mean? Tap into that source. Tap into that power. Tap into that power. You got power. We're going to talk about that later, but you got power. I'm going to do a full video on you got power. You know what I'm saying? Peace.